Hey guys, welcome to my channel Sengupta's Creation. I am Yona Sengupta, your host and your coach, and today we'll be doing or starting the fifth chapter, cell structure and function. Whatever. Okay, here it is written chapter 5 in NCERT. It is chapter 5, and in our science book. What is the name of the science book? I don't know. Of South Point High School, it is uh, chapter 8. So we'll call chapter 8 only. So let us start with cells, structures, and functions. Okay. Okay. So first we need to know, before doing all these, we need to know what is this uh, cell, right? Now first we will discuss some questions. In this questions we will get very easy questions. Okay, just a second. Here comes, just a second. What's happening? Y- Yes, so I hope you can see the slide, right? We will move on. Okay. First is, what is a cell? Now, as you know, now you must have seen that different set of organs perform various functions, uh, and we have also listed some, right? And in this chapter, we shall learn about the basics constructional unit of an organ, which is a cell. And cells may be compared to bricks also. And bricks are assembled to make buildings. And similarly, what happens? Cells are assembled to make body of every organism, isn't it? So this is what we are calling what is a cell. Now, in the cell, how was this thing? How was the discovery of cell? How did it happen? Let us see. Now, cell was discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665 and he observed slices of cork under a simple magnifying device. And cork is a part of the bark we know of the tree. And what he did was he took thin slices, not thick. So if he took thick, then he would not be able to see them. Okay. Okay, just a second. Let me finish. Yes. So what happened was he took thin slices of cork. And then what happened was he observed them under a microscope, and he noticed partitions, boxes, or compartments in the cork slice. Understood? So this was how he found out what happened actually. Okay. Also, Anton von Leeuwenhoek was the first who described a living cell in 1667, just 2 years after that. And in 1833, what happens was Robert Browne discovered nucleus. Okay. Next comes the cell theory. How did cell become? What are the structural things? We will all see. Again, here comes Matthias J. Sheldon in 1838. He proposed the cell theory. First, you see, okay. In here was first was okay. Okay, so he was a German botanist, and he discovered cell theory in 1838, and just 1 year after, Theodore, so when a, who was a British zoologist, also proposed cell theory, as you can see. Now you will see there are all the living organisms are composed of cells and product of cells. Now all cells arise from pre-existing cells, though the procession of the cell division, the body of the living organisms is made up of one or more cells. It can be single celled, which is known as unicellular cell, or it can be also many cells, which is the multicellular, isn't it? Next, which we were talking about. Next is cell number, shapes, and sizes, which I was just talking about, that organisms show variety in cell number, shape, and size. isn't it? So the first comes is that we will see organisms made of more than one cell are called multicellular. Here multi means many and cellular means cell organisms. Okay, and the number of cells being less in smaller organisms does not in any way affect the functioning of the other organisms. And you will be surprised when you know that an organisms with billions of cells begin life as a single cell, which is actually the fertilized egg, and the fertilized egg cell multiplies and the number of cells increase development as development proceeds. Right, now you can see that this that there is also unicellular. The single celled organisms are made of a single cell, right? And the single celled organisms are called unicellular. Here, uni means one, cellular means cell organism. And you will see that single celled organisms perform all the necessary functions that multicellular organisms perform. And a single celled organism, like for example amoeba, captures and digests foods, respires, excretes, grows, and reproduces again. Right. So understanding. So similar functions in the multicellular organisms are carried out by grouping of groups of specialized cells forming different tissues. Tissues in turn form organs, isn't it? Next, we will move on. Here comes the shape now. Where the shape comes, shape of the cells. Now first, how do we, for example, we take you know we'll take a shape, for example, we can take an amoeba. Okay, don't look at the slide, just listen to me and that will only help. Amoeba, and you may say that the shape appears irregular. In fact, amoeba has no definite shape, unlike other organisms. And it keeps on changing its shape. Now, observe the projections, which I'm going to show you, of varying lengths protruding out of its body. Here, you see, these are all this. I'll get back to that. Before that, here I was, I'm sorry, this was. Okay? And it keeps on changing its shape. Right? So, while observing, these were called fesopodia. Feso means false and podia means feet, as we have already learned. Now, these projections appear and disappear. Right, this will disappear as amoeba moves or feeds. Now generally you will see a white blood cell, or WBC in human blood is another example of a single cell, right, which can change its shape. But while WBC is a cell, amoeba is a full-fledged organism capable of independent existence. Now, you will see the figure that I just showed you has different cells such as blood. You see, but here is blood, and then the muscles, blood, muscles, and nerve of the human beings. So the different shapes are related to the specific functions, and generally cells are round, spherical, or elongate. And some cells are long and pointed at both ends, and they exhibit a very spindle shape. And cells sometimes are quite long, and some are very branched like nerve cells. This is the nerve cell. I'll show you this part. I'm sorry, here I can show you till this, isn't it? Next is it. What does this nerve cell do? Let me tell you. Now, this nerve cell, the nerve cell, receives and transfers messages, thereby helping to control and coordinate the working in of different parts of the body. Now, can you guess which part of the cell gives it shape? Hmm? Yes, the components of the cells are enclosed in a membrane, and this membrane provides shape of the cells of plants and animals both, isn't it? Just a second, my legs. Right. Next, cell wall is also is an additional covering over the cell membrane in plant cells, and it gives shape and rigidity to these cells. Now, bacterial cell also has a cell wall, isn't it? Next, we will move on to the size of the cells. Now, the size of the cells in living organisms may be small as a millionth of a meter. Now, my millionth of a meter means you can say micrometer or micron, or maybe as large as a few centimeters. Now, however, most of the cells are microscopic in size and are not visible to the unaided or naked eyes. Now, they need to be enlarged or magnified by a microscope. Now, the smallest, you will be amazed that the smallest cell is zero point 0.1 to zero point 0.5 micrometer in bacteria, and the largest cell is the egg of an ostrich, measuring to 170 millimeter into 130 millimeter. Right? Okay. Next, we can move on, I think. Cells struck. Now we will do cell structures and functions. Now you see, cell has a non-living outer layer called the cell membrane, right? And cell membrane which is found only in cell wall which is only found in the plant cells, and just below cell wall is the cell membrane, and cell membrane encloses protoplasm, and the protoplasm has semi-fluid matrix called cytoplasm and large membrane bound structure called nucleus. Now, what is cytoplasm? Now, cytoplasm. Oh, just a second. I'm really sorry. I just missed a slide, I think, which I was talking about was cell membrane encloses protoplasm. Right. And the protoplasm has a semi-fluid matrix called cytoplasm. And the cytoplasm and the nucleus are enclosed within the cell membrane, which is also known as plasma membrane, and the membrane separates cells from one another and also the cell from the surrounding medium. The plasma membrane is porous and allows movement of the substances or materials both inward and outward. Right. Next, we will move on. I will talk to you later about this. Next, we will move about cytoplasm. Now, cytoplasm, it is a jelly-like substance present between the cell membrane and nucleus. Now, various other components or organelles of cells are present in the cytoplasm, and these are, what are these? These can be mitochondria, then Golgi bodies, ribosomes, plastids, and vacuoles, and etc. etc. Now, they also have a non-membrane bound structures called ribosomes and centrosomes. Now, cytoplasm without cell organelles are called cytosol. Okay. Next, we can move on, I think. Next, this is a typical animal cell. Here I have kept it for you. Yes, I hope you can see. I can just make it a little bigger. 75 would do, I think. Here, this is a typical cell. Here you see there is mitochondria, cytoplasm, microtubulus, which is a part of cytoskeleton, and there are lysosome, right? Isn't it? You can see. Then there is many things. Then here, this part is the smooth part. Hope you can watch it. I don't know. Just a second. Yes. Then here the part of nucleus, then nucleus. Next is chromatin, nuclear pore, nuclear envelope, Golgi complex, ribosome, rough, uh, endoplasmic reticulum, plasma membrane, then free ribosome there is, then central is also there, and many things are also there. Here, now difference between the plant and cell membrane. It is very easy. You will see that in plant cell, you will see the plant in plants. You will see that plants are present, and in the cells you will see animal cells are present. Both are different. Not in plant cell there is also animal cell, or in animal cell there is also a plant cell, right? Next, it differs that the plant cell, in the plants there is, or the plant cells have a cell wall. I just told you what is a cell wall, isn't it? Now you will see in an outer thicker layer in often plants, which is called cell wall, and in animal cell you will never see that. Next, there comes the uh, next what happens, except cell wall, there in animal cell there is that cytosome with cytosol. Next, in the plant cell there is chloroplast, but not in animal cell, and animal cell has lysome, which the plant cells doesn't have. Similarly, there is the central vacuole, as you can see in the pictures, that there is the central vacuole in plant cell, but in animal cell they had flagella, sorry. Flagella. Okay, here I will now I'm going to show you the components of a cell. Now, what are the components of a cell? Let us see. Now, the first three, the components of in a components of the cell, there is the three very main important. What do I say? Important three structures. The first one is cell membrane. Next, the cytoplasm, and next the nucleus. Right? Now you will see uh, from cytoplasm is differentiated between two parts. The first one is cell organelle, and in the third part, and the second part is cell inclusions. Now the cell, organelles have two parts also here. The first one is membrane bound and the non-membranous. In membrane bound, you will see that endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi complex is there, and endoplasmic and Golgi complex are in both cell organelles of plant cells and animal cell. Mitochondria also both, and then comes in membrane bound plastids and lysosomes. Now plastids is only applicable for plant cells, not animal cells. It is not present in animal cells, plastids. Okay, and lysosomes are present only in animal cells. I just showed you here in this different lysosomes only in animal cell, right? Okay. Next comes, I will show you. Just a second. Give me a time. Okay. Okay. I understand whatever you are saying, but I have to end my class, I think, though. Just a second. Okay, which I was talking about. So this happened with the membrane bound. Next comes is the non-membranous. Now what happens in non-membranous? What we have in non-membranous, we have ribsons and cytoskeleton. Now ribsons and cytoskeletons are both present in animal cells and plant cells, and centroless is only present in animal cells. Okay, and from cytoplasm there were two. The first one was cell organelles, and the second one was cell inclusions. Now we are entering towards the cell inclusions. Now, the first point is storage products. Storage products like starch, fats, and oils, and proteins, or nutritions, you can say. The second is secretory products, which is the enzymes, hormones, pigments. Pigments is only present for plant cells. Alkaloids is only present for plant cells. Resins are only present for plant cells, and gums are only present for plant cells. Next, the third point is excretory products. Now, excretory products, it's itself in only the topic excretory products is only in plant cells, not in animal cells. Okay, so the topics in under that is inorganic salts, number 2 latex, number 3 tannin, and number 4 is essential oil. Okay, next. Okay, now before moving on to the next question, if you have any questions you can ask me. I'll just wait for 5 minutes. Now it's 31. I'll wait for 35. Okay, for you all to finish. Please finish it fast. All the writings I have shown you, you can stop and see also, because I am streaming, right? And always, take, running notes. That will be good for you all only. I'm saying nothing for me, only you all. Okay. Okay, I think we can move on, right? Next, after this, we will move on to I'm really sorry, I don't know what happened just now. What is happening? Yes, I hope you can see the topic or the slides which I'm showing here. So the first topic after the components of the cell, we have already known the three main components, which is the cell membrane, the okay. So many are saying me that okay, whatever. Now many are saying that they don't want to do a class furthermore, so I will stop my class here. Today, this is all for today. Now we will meet again in our next class or tomorrow. Okay, so thank you and have a great day. And if you like our video, please like and subscribe our channel. We would like to appreciate your likes, your thanks, your comments, even if it's bad. How do you like my teaching? So please do comment below and also hit the bell icon after subscribing and liking our video so that whenever we are online, you can also see our posts. Okay, so thank you, good night, and have a great day. Thank you. Have a nice day.